Pinky here. Are you wondering, should I wake my baby to feed? Now, you don't need to follow strict routines, and that's not actually compatible with a good breast milk supply anyway. You know, babies need to feed when babies need to feed, and babies are going to regulate the type of milk that they get, the composition of your breast milk as they feed. So some days they'll just be very thirsty and they'll need lots of more frequent feeds, but they'll take short feeds because they're taking the more watery sort of full milk. Other days they'll need the full yum cha and they'll be taking all of your milk and all of your sides and have a nice long feed. So, you know, watching your baby is the better thing than watch your baby, not the clock, is the motto. But the healthy, alert baby, you know, they will signal when they need to be fed. But if you've got a sleepy newborn and you're establishing your milk supply, now you may need to wake your baby about every 3 hours, your newborn, until your milk supply is established and that baby's gaining weight. And for about the first month, you know, I know everybody wants their baby to sleep all night. And the first question you're ever asked is he a good baby? And then, does he sleep all night? Come up with something ridiculous to get people off that does he sleep all night question, because it can start making you question yourself. You know, oh, he's already started robbing banks. I don't think he's a good baby. That could be something that you say. But, you know, throw them off at the pass. But all night in infant sleep studies is actually only 5 hours. If your baby's sleeping for 5 hours, that's from the beginning of the last feed to the next one, you've got a baby who sleeps all night. So that's what you can say to people. But definitely if your baby's sleeping more than 4 or 5 hours at night over the first month, you know, wake them gently and offer a feed, because this is going to help with your milk supply. Your highest prolactin levels, which is your milk making hormone, are at night time. So if you're doing night feeds, this is going to help maintain your prolactin levels and maintain your milk supply. Also, in the first month to 6 weeks, you are having more breast development, more prolactin receptors. And as your baby feeds, you know, these surges of prolactin are actually going to help with this development, and they're going to set your milk supply set point higher, so that as your baby grows, you've got a nice healthy milk supply, so your baby will start to sleep longer periods between feeds. So, you know, just do that after this time. If your baby's gaining weight and your milk supply is nice and established, you can let your baby decide when to wake at night, or you can let your boobs decide, because sometimes your boobs are going to get really tight in the night, full of milk as you're sleeping, and your baby's sound asleep and you think they're going to keep on sleeping through, but you can gently pick up your baby. And rather than get the pump out and pump and then find your baby wakes up shortly afterwards or whatever, you can just gently pick your baby up, pop them to the breast and let them take what they want to take. They'll only take as much as they need to. Sometimes they'll leave your breast feeling fairly full again. As long as they're comfortable, you can go back to sleep. But if they're feeling tight and still hard or lumpy patches, I'd suggest gently expressing some of it off. You can just hand express some of it off until your breasts feel nicely softened. Not right till they're empty. I mean, your breasts are, you know, they're a river, not a lake. They're never actually going to be empty. There's going to be some flow there all the time. But gently, you know, just express enough off so that you feel soft and comfortable, and then you can go back to sleep safely. If you express too much, you're likely to stimulate too much and end up with problems like blocked ducts and engorgement. So just express enough just to soften your breasts, not to push up your supply, and then go back to sleep again.